to the trip. Yeah, it's just me for now. I don't know. People just don't want to show up on time anymore. It's hard to find good help around. Give them a time and they don't show up. And just to be sure, I did send the link, so everybody should have the link. And I would expect them to be joining pretty soon. And just to make sure that the link works, I'm just going to test it out. But yeah, everybody, thanks for joining. I will say hello to everyone. Oh, got our first late employee of the show. Sponsor, how are you doing?
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Doing good. I can hear myself. I don't know if that's why I can hear myself. Okay, I'll play it. Oh, no, I can still hear myself. What is going on?
I can hear you though, but you're hearing an echo, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think I can hear. I can hear myself now, so I don't know. Maybe it's a weird connection on your end. But anyways, we'll get into it. We will say, had some early attendees before we started. Miss Melina joined us early. I don't know. Hopefully she'll come back. She joined about half an hour ago, along with Jordan. I don't think I'm going to say that middle name, LFC, but he says hi. Let's say hi. All right. You want to try your audio again and see?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
No echo though.
No echo. All right. Good. So, cool. So this is the Interlull is almost over. We've got one more game, I think, tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I hope it's tomorrow. But one more game left, I guess, for any Arsenal players, hopefully. Big Gunner's in the house. Welcome to the show, Big Gunner. Yes. Surprise, surprise. You would not believe this. But it seems Kyle Walker will be available for the game on Sunday.
I imagine pretty much everybody's probably going to be available at this point. I say that, and I think probably what happened is, the March international break is the one that I dread the most. We lost Tyranny during that run a couple of years ago to a knee injury, and that definitely killed us at the left back position. But I imagine the clubs are sent to these FAs or football associations like, look, man, we're in the stretch here. Don't look at Tyler Adams. 45 minutes last night and off. So I imagine we'll see a full strength versus full strength next Sunday.
Definitely. Yeah. No. They have to figure something out, and I think there needs to be a little better communication between the clubs and the international associations. What do we have here? Where's my mouse? All right, you're so pumped for that. Yeah, I'm looking for. We have no fear. This. You know what? This is a big game, right? Massive. This is a big game, so it's a big game. So for me, it's a lot can happen if we are able to get all 3 points. Guns N' Roses, welcome to the show. All tactical injuries, of course. Yes, everybody's got a little niggle here and there that just isn't going to get them through an international game. So I guess we'll, as much as we'll get into this before we get into that. Let me just say hello to someone who's joined us in the back here. Yeah, Mr. Tom has joined us. Mr. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are all of you?
I'm doing good.
I've got some sweet controversial takes for you.
Oh, great! So everybody ready for some nonsense? Just it's coming. Old School Gunner has joined us. Welcome to the show, Old School Gunner. All right, let's Yeah, I'm hoping that it's correct to throw in the champs. You know what? One thing, and I think a lot of people have been trying to say it, and what I thought was interesting is I always talk about this one game with. And I don't know if you saw there was like a tweet about Declan Rice was talking to John Stones about, you know, we got you next, and supposedly John Stones is like, I haven't even thought that far ahead yet. I'm still working on the game tomorrow. And that's that if you that it makes a lot of sense, and that's how Arsenal needs to play this thing. We got City. We'll do everything we can to get this win. Everything we can to get this win, and then we'll see what happens after that. Not going to that this weekend. So it's well, I don't know. I assume that sounds like that's good luck that you're not going, or so hopefully that's what that means. But yeah, I look at a lot of your I think your tweets and stuff about your visits. It's cool to get to go to see all those games. Yes. Brownie has joined us, folks. Brownie's in the house. We'll see how long it takes for him to give us some facts. The man brings facts all the time. Old school Gunner, first time tuning in. Smash the like and subscribe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we want to see. Says hello to us. And he's a friend of BX Gunner. There you go. And this is Dave. So Dave, welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy it. Usually we're talking Arsenal, and then every once in a while we talk about some other team. I don't remember. Do you remember the team we talk about, Spencer?
U.S. men's national team? Is that
the other team? That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is.
All right.
Mr. Tom,
Hey, won the CONCACAF Nations League. Woo!
Hey, when's the last time your country's won a trophy?
Because we tend to enter trophies that are contested by more than 2 teams.
We didn't. We played multiple teams to get there.
Yeah, and it always ends up United States versus Mexico in the final.
That's not our fault.
It's not our fault. We own the most of North America. All right, I'm sorry. All right, it's not our fault.
Acting like football, not even the NBA.
Joining us also, we've got Sam. Sam, welcome to the show. Copa America held in the U.S. in the summer. That's right. It's going to be a busy summer. Everybody, all the teams, all the countries will be busy. The Euros, Copa America, yes. You already went
Copa America again.
Copa America, yeah.
Again.
What do you mean again?
Apparently they do it every 4 years, but it feels like they do it every 5 minutes because we've got to do one for like the 100th anniversary of the CONMEBOL, or it's the 2nd anniversary of the last time we had it in America.
This is a lot of hate from a guy
over to America,
isn't it? Just a lot of football hate coming out of that.
I mean, Gary, he did come in saying that he was going to bring a lot of heat and hot takes today. And
I guess so. I guess his hot take is USA football. They play these mini tournaments, not big ones like England does.
Tyler Adams sucks.
Yes. That's why he's upset.
Aronson.
That's why he's upset.
Aronson sucks as well.
Yes. The World Series is legit for the world of baseball. Okay. I didn't bring that up, so.
No, I did though, because I said about the NBA. You're world champions of.
Oh, no, all this hate.
World champions of nothing.
Oh man, that'd be cool to go see BX if you can. It's like, why not? Brazil, that's right. Argentina, Chile in the MetLife Stadium.
Chile.
That's not far away from where I am. Super Bowl champions happen to become world champions. Yes, there's a lot of hate just coming in, just with like you said, coming in firing. All right, so you know what? So there was a question. So I guess we'll get into it because why not? Why not? Arsenal against City. Everybody's, it's the same thing as last year, right? City does not look like the same old City, right? They don't look like the City before. And guess what? This is the time of year when they turn it on. So we'll see if they turn it on. But their last game they didn't get what they wanted out of it for sure. They probably felt they got robbed, right? I think every football team thinks they got robbed, and probably has. But at least for me, my initial thoughts on the game are it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, everybody is healthy. The fact that Martinelli, for me, is probably the one big question mark for Arsenal. Because if he's ready to go, I think he could pose some questions when he's good to go. The rest of the guys, I think, will be okay. Defensively, I think we're solid. So it should, we should be able to hopefully keep them at bay. And yeah, looking for a good one there. Arsenal needs to win this. That's all I got to say for me. So if I'm going to put a score line up, it's a 2-1 Arsenal win. It'll be tough, but they can do it. I think defensively we are strong, and we should be able to have answers for them. All right, Spencer.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be here Saturday, Gary. I'm going to be going to that race up in Richmond. But to let you know, my prediction for this game is a 3-1 for Arsenal. I think we're going to be able to get, because the issue right now is Ederson's going to be out with an injury. So they're going to have a backup goalkeeper, and Ortega is not a bad keeper, but I do think we're going to go to that game. I think Arteta's going to try to have a go at it. I don't think he's going to sit there and try to play counterattack football. I think he's going to try to do wide open. 3-1 to Arsenal. Yeah, the Martinelli is going to be a potential question mark, but we've got Trossard, so he can still do a job for us. And hopefully, everybody makes it through tomorrow, because I know Rice and everybody's playing in the England game tomorrow. So, yeah, it's a place we haven't won in a long time and this is a 6-point game. At the end of the day, if Arsenal win this, they put 3 points between them, and don't forget the goal difference Arsenal have going into this game as well. That could be the final day, May 19th, sitting there looking at the goal difference, being the difference between winning the title and not winning the title.
May 19th.
I don't even know what that means.
19th.
That's the Everton game. That's the final day of the season, gentlemen.
Oh.
Yeah.
May 19th.
Hopefully we'll make Mr. Tom happy on that day. But Mr. Tom, what are your thoughts on the Manchester City Arsenal match?
Nah.
You don't even want to answer anything.
Nah. Don't ask me questions when I know you could get upset at the answers. So nah.
I asked you a question. Answer the question.
I think it's going to be a difficult afternoon for Arsenal. I think. You know what? Sorry. Let's do this again. Sorry. Right. Excuse me. La. Excuse me.
Oh, boy.
I think Arsenal are going to win 4-1.
Can you tell me why? Why? You're not going to answer the question. That's it. You're just going to give a prediction.
4-1. Although I think it'd be really impressive if you winning 4-1 when Saka shouldn't even be allowed to play in the game.
Who shouldn't be allowed to play in the game?
Saka shouldn't be allowed to play.
What did he do?
Dropped out of international duty.
So everybody else who dropped out they should also.
So no Haaland as well.
So Haaland shouldn't play.
100%. I'll be the first to say that. Yeah, 100%. If you don't play in the national game, you shouldn't be allowed to play the club game.
Why?
Because it's I don't the right word I'm looking for is, but I think it's like it's fakery. People are pretending they're hurt when they're not, so they can then mysteriously be fit again for the first league game. It's not on, and people continually get away with it.
I think there needs to be a legitimate conversation about why we're having a March international break at this time of the club season anyway.
And how many international breaks have they had this season? I think it was we had 3 straight months of international breaks.
Yep.
So you're complaining about the players, but also you should be complaining about the international schedule.
I mean, friendly games at that.
3 international breaks in 3 months, I think is ridiculous.
Well,
yeah, because that doesn't fit your narrative. You want to look at one side, or you don't want to look at the other side of it. How about they not have so many breaks?
We talk about football or health.
I don't care about football or health.
You do care about it. When your players are missing, you care about it. We'll say hello to a couple of people. Stefan has joined us, and Miss Melina is back. I don't know if you were a half hour earlier. If I think I corrected all the times to make sure they were correct. But you're in Canada, so I think you would have known what time it is. You were just there a little early.
They should be mandatory.
They should be. What I get you, but then I think there needs to be a talk between the federations, right? The club teams and international organizations.
You know what they should actually do? Just get rid of international football, and then at the end of the month, just do a drawing lot and go, oh, these are the 38 teams or 32 teams that are going to qualify for the tournament in the summer. Just go, oh, fuck it, it's Mozambique. How'd they get there? Oh, fuck it. Oh, the Congo are at the European Championship. Yeah, I know what I said then. Don't bother correcting it. But just so we don't play the matches.
Seems very inclusive.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what Nike told us to be.
Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
And to many, Gary, to bloody many. Okay.
In fact, due to player health, why don't we just play one match a season?
And as this man said right here, they're not mandatory.
They should be. So let's just, you know what? I can solve the problem football health tomorrow. We'll just play one match a year, and then the rest of the year there's no football.
All right. So this is folks where we get the nonsense side of the discussion with Mr. Tom. Well, maybe he comes with some strong messages, and then he goes, "You got to reel him back in." Come on, Mr. Tom. You don't believe any of that stuff you're saying. You're just trying to be controversial.
How many Leeds players were called up for international duty?
Too many for my liking.
How many?
Actually, I went through them all yesterday on the We All Love Leeds show. We had Gruev, played for Bulgaria in a 1-0 win against Tanzania. We had, obviously, the Welsh contingent. So our 4 Welsh players defeated Glenn Kamara's Finland 4-1. No, I meant one football match a year, Stefan.
You said one international match a year. What's the difference?
I didn't mean one international match a year. I meant just play one football match a year.
We could put YouTubers.
This is what I mean, folks. Yeah. All right. Continue on. Who else got to travel?
Junior Firpo got his first cap for the Dominican Republic, and I'm so proud of him.
The DR, man. Just say it the right way. Let's call it what it is. It's the DR. Yeah.
So what do you call Congo? Because they're DR. They're Dr. Congo, aren't they?
I don't know. I call them Congo.
My kid's in AP Geography. I could always ask her. She might know.
Yeah. Anders, welcome to the show.
It's a good film, that Congo.
Yeah. Yeah. See, look, there you go. Tyler Adams, former Leeds great.
No, she didn't call him a former Leeds great. She said he scored a great goal for the United States.
That's the best comment of the day.
It's not. It's not. With respect to Miss Melina, it's not. It's really not.
That is a perfect comment, because you know what? That is it, right? That's why he's just.
It's
mean.
Not. You're exaggerating.
You're just mad.
You're only exaggerating it because it's Tyler Adams. If any other player had scored a goal like that, you'd have all just gone, "Yeah, it's all right." He's paid.
No, we wouldn't have.
If Weston McKennie had done it, we would have absolutely. Or Brendan.
That would have been even better.
You see what I mean? Tyler Adams. You cannot deny Tyler Adams is a good footballer. You cannot.
He knows he is. He knows he is.
I'm surprised Weston McKennie can pick his gut up off the floor long enough to run around.
He does look a little. He does look a little linebackerish. Let's just say that.
Yeah, he looks like he could probably go out there and do a ruck. A scrum.
Oh, and just for the sake of it, Willie Nonto bid captain the England under-21s. Also, Archie Gray made his England under-21 debut.
You were happy for that, yeah?
I was thrilled. He played 10 minutes, had 100% passing accuracy, completed every pass, and scored a goal in 10 minutes. And he's right back.
Very nice. And welcome. We gotta welcome to the stage. He's the first one to acknowledge I sent the link, and he's the last one in. I don't get it.
There's a reason for that. Yeah. There's reason for that.
Welcome to the show, Lonzo.
Hey Gary, hey Tom, hey Spencer. And it's because one of the firefighters, when lieutenants retired today, so I just wanted to wish him well before his shift ended. So that's why I was a little bit late. So I apologize.
All right, that's a. I'll let that one slide this time. I hope it was a good handoff.
Yeah, it was when you took a picture.
3 strikes, isn't it?
It's my first strike, Tom. No, but we took a picture and they're about to have dinner, so I didn't want to interrupt their dinner, so I just left early before that. So it was nice. He's been in with the firefighter, even a firefighter. He's in it for about 28 years. So today was his last shift, and when just catch it before he left, and he seemed very, very happy, but very sad he was leaving. So they did one of those calls that around the stations. They did one of those calls that I don't know to wish him well in his retirement and etc. So it was good for him.
Cool.
Does he think there's too much international football these days?
Mr. Tom is on one now. He's on one. Yes.
So you guys talking about?
So Mr. Tom believes that football players who skip out on their international duties should not. What is it? Not play ever again for their country?
I believe. I'll hang on. This is the second part. This is I believe your takes on Ben White are massively biased. I think if it wasn't Ben White, your opinions on it would be massively different.
So you think we're okay with a manager going at one of his players? You think that's what we would say?
Not what I said. Not what I said.
No, that's exactly what you said. You said if it wasn't Ben White and it was some other player, for example, from that team, we would be like, oh, that's all right. Ha 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 ha.
You wouldn't care. You just all be like, yeah, whatever. Or be like, oh, he should be banned forever. Oh, how dare he? Oh, he doesn't want to play for the national team. Oh, he should go fuck himself. Or whatever. Because Ben White, though, it's Arsenal.
You can't say that it didn't happen. It happened to one of our players. If it happened to one of your players, you'd be a little concerned as well. I have no doubt about it. I have no doubt about it. If that was Junior Firpo,
make the obvious joke.
If that was Junior Firpo, and somebody had mentioned anything about his mustache,
if it was Junior Firpo, we'd be discussing something completely different. We'd be discussing should he be in prison for attempted murder or something if someone spoke to him like that.
Yeah, see, this is where
he'd turn his head and like slice the head off with his moustache.
Gary, you meant to say Calvin Phillips.
Oh, Calvin Phillips, his favorite player. That's true. You're right. That's right. You probably hate Pep and don't think he's one of the top managers in the world because of the way he.
I don't think he's one of the top managers in the world. That's what I literally think.
Yes.
So Gary, what Tom is leaving out here is not only should the players not be banned from playing the next game for turning down international duty, but they should be on probation and their wages should be taken away. Is that it?
Yeah,
that's passport revoked
that
as well.
Far from my true opinion, no.
And this nonsense segment was brought to you by, I don't know, Pepsid.
What's Pepsid?
I don't know. I just some anti what is it?
Acid.
Anti-acid. Like we have an upset stomach. So yeah. It's a question for Spencer. I don't know. I think we were talking about this the last show. So Spencer, did you see Simon Jordan go in about Leicester today? They haven't even done their accounts for the year in question. They should be slammed.
I did not see that. I'll see if there's something on YouTube about it. I didn't get a chance to listen to any Talk Sport or anything really today. So
I guess they figure if they don't do their books, then they can't get any more trouble.
I mean, I guess you could always test the waters and see what happens. I mean,
you can't charge me if you have nothing to charge me for.
Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, like if Man City can get away with 115 charges, why do you do your books? Like I kind of I can't fault the logic here with Leicester. Play the game and see what happens, right? I mean,
You've got to have money to play that kind of game, though, and they clearly don't have any.
There you go. There you go.
That's probably the secret. Like, they don't really have the money. They're like, boss, we have an issue here. We don't have the money.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Here's a question for you, Mr. Tom.
All right, go on.
Since you're such a fan of Jesse Marsh, like, you know,
is he still alive?
It was last night.
So would you be happy if your players had to leave your team to go and get managed by Jesse Marsh? Similar, any English player having to go and get managed by Southgate.
I'd ask what they did to deserve it.
It's exact. So you agree then? You agree with us? That's perfect. So when Ben White says, you know what, I'd rather not go and play for England, you agree with that?
No.
Thank you. You just said it.
My feeling is that he's made a decision, and people are not wrong for saying that he essentially has turned his back on the privilege of playing for his country. But I feel like a lot of Arsenal fans are taking a view of, because he's an Arsenal player, we're going to have the view that we wouldn't have if it was someone else. Yeah. And that is it. And I don't think I'm unfair in saying that.
And you think it's okay for the manager to put that information out there?
None of us know what happened.
No,
well,
we
have
know.
No idea what
we
happened.
know the manager put it out there. And nobody's retorted it. Nobody's responded to it.
If I was the coach of a football team and one of the players didn't want to play, and then I was asked why ain't this person been picked, I'd say because they took themselves out. They turned their back on the team. That's what I'd say. And I wouldn't be wrong in saying it.
It's an invitation.
That comes with a response from everybody else. And that's what you're getting, and you don't like it. You assumed because it's Ben White, we're going to react a certain way.
You did react the way that I assumed you'd react. As in, he's faultless. He can't do no wrong.
Nobody said that.
Nah,
Nobody said that. You're putting words in our mouth now.
I'll put words in all of your mouths.
Yeah,
I'll put different words in all your mouths.
Yeah, if it was in Kenya, Mr. Tom would have.
Already answered that. He would have the
protest flags
up. He's a good boy. He's a good man.
Yeah.
But Tom, wasn't Ben White also a Leeds legend as well?
Oh, Ben White's son of a bitch. Tell you right now.
Wow.
See, look at that. He's turning on his own players. The man, sweat for you. For your enjoyment. You actually bring his name up all the time when we're hating on him. You do. You love the man. I've felt the love. I've heard it.
You're gonna be buying him in the summer when you come up.
There you go.
Well, Ben White.
But isn't international duty an invitation? You're invited to play for England. I mean, is there a law on the books?
Yes.
I mean, is there, based on what? Public opinion? The honor of it? I don't know.
It is an honor.
Mr. Tom's Law.
It literally is an honor.
Ian, welcome to the show.
I'm anti-international football, so if every Arsenal player wants to set out the international break, I'm completely fine with it.
Yeah.
I just
the
find
DRC
it
versus the
that
DR,
so many
not the same, right?
Drop out and then a fine come the first club match.
I mean, it happens, you know.
Convenient.
I mean, look what FIFA did to the club season last year. They put a World Cup right in the middle of the season. I mean, at the end of the day,
had to though.
The U.S. Federation cares about what the U.S. does. They don't care about what the MLS does, the Liga Mexa. I mean, they don't care about any of the other federations. They care about and because I've got people who are all they care about is the international game. Look how great the U.S. players are when they play for U.S. But then go look at what Weston McKennie did for Leeds. Go look at what Brendan Anderson did for Leeds.
Not much.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so in the club game, they're not doing so much. When they come over to play for America, they ball out.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's a fixture of the clubs they're with, what's on the players, or a mixture of all the above.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tricky situation, but I mean, at the end of the day, some people only care about the international game, and some people only care about the club game. So some people care about both. And Tom, you are that person. You love both.
There you go. Got Taib in the house. Welcome to the show, Taib. Everybody's saying hello to him.
Hey, Taib.
And You're on this show talking about what's on another show. What's going on? What's going on? What's happening here? How you doing this? Are you with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Mr. Tom, you're biting to say, you're itching to say something. What is it?
I just think you're all wrong.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, would you say this to me about Calvin Phillips, your beloved Leeds star?
He stopped being beloved when he decided he'd rather warm the bench at Manchester City. Now, personally, I don't blame him for taking that opportunity. Like,
all right,
objectively.
Good night, old school Gunner. Thanks for joining us. I know it's pretty late for you. It's pretty late for Mr. Tom. He'll tell you.
Yeah. So, midnight.
Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, Mr. Tom. Sorry.
I don't really know what Calvin Phillips has to do with any of this, but I mean,
well, I'm just comparing how you would feel if Calvin Phillips were still on Leeds and could have been White.
But what has Calvin in what situation? Like
the exact same one as Ben White.
That's what I'm trying to say, Tom.
Well, I would say that he probably shouldn't play international football again based on that decision. And admittedly, I've also said it shouldn't be under that management team. If a new management team comes in and have a conversation with him and he decides he's willing to play or whatever, then fine. But generally speaking, he has made his decision, and I think people should respect that. But at the same time, it's like, okay. But if you don't want to play, it's like when you take your ball and go home, it's like, and you try to come back, people are like, well, no, you went home last week, mate. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, Ben White.
I know I'm right.
Well, see, Ben White left the England camp, right?
Yep.
And then they offered him again, and he said no. So he never really brought his ball back. England tried to knock on his door
in the first place. Yeah.
And he probably's not going to get selected for the Euros anyway. Because by that time, you'll figure, Reece James will be back by that time, potentially?
Unless England has a mirror tomorrow and loses like 5-0 or something.
Well, here's the other thing, though, Tom and chat room and Gary and everybody. You got players, let's say Saka, for example. Let's just say he's, the last game we played was against, I can't remember at this point, but say he was dealing with an issue and needs about a 2-week break. Why can't he just take a 2-week break to get himself healthy again? Why has he got to go play the international games and get himself hurt for the rest of the year? If he shows up to the camp and the camp doctors talk to Arsenal doctors and they said, all right, yeah, let him sit out. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we're looking at if we're going to talk about serious here about football or health, I know we don't say we don't care, but the powers that be say they care, even though the fixture lists say they don't. I mean, I get where you're coming from, Tom, on this one, but I think at the end of the day, if Calvin Phillips,
nope.
You know what I mean?
If
exhibit Y. Exhibit T. Here we go. Exhibit T. Tomiyasu, we know as Arsenal fans, his availability is minimal at best. At best, the man has always been, goes in and out of injuries. Hasn't played since he went to Asia Cup.
Yep. And played the last game and they got eliminated in too, and then came back and was immediately on the sideline.
Yeah.
He played through an injury for
Japan.
That
right there is one reason why teams have to be a little bit cautious with their players. And a team like Arsenal can't afford to do that. Right? And their players are on the cusp and they need a little break. Yep. For a friendly. And a friendly where you should be figuring out what the depth of your squad is, not who your starters are. You already know who they are. All right. So I feel, yeah. I think England is pretty set up well. They just don't know about their depth, right? That's what they should be trying to figure out. Is there an answer behind Harry Kane? We don't know that because we only got to see one player play, right? In a game when you lost 1-0, didn't even test out the other striker. Come on, yeah. different things you could have found out in that game when it was not done. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. Like Tomiyasu has not played for Arsenal since he left. I think that's a big deal. I think that's a big reason why you're seeing what you're seeing. Yeah, I know he is. And this is me reading something in the background. Mr. Tom said he's coming with some fire. He just wants to rock the boat. And
it was a hot take of hot takes, Gary.
Yes, yes. Mr. Tom is on one, as I said. So here we go. We did talk about the game coming up. Everybody's giving their predictions. Mr. Tom thinks it's 4-1 Arsenal. Here's something. Arsenal has 12 more games left. 12 more games left, at the least. Hopefully 13. Hopefully 15 actually. But they have at least 12 to go. We'll start with you, Lonzo. How much rotation would you expect from Arsenal? You've got 12 games, and you have a lot of midweek games as games start to, make up games, and as you move along down through the different cup events that are out there, games will get postponed, and we'll have even more games midweek.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, for me, Gary, I think I mentioned this last night. It'd be kind of cool and different to see Timber amongst the players that will get minutes, at least starts at least, as well as Tomiyasu, because we need to see them play. It's a good thing that Partey is back healthy again as well, and Jorginho. So there's depth there. Now, what concerns me is the up front. Whenever it's the wingers or the strikers, because Gabriel Jesus is just too inconsistent to be a striker, and he hasn't been used enough to be a winger. And Martinelli, I don't know how his injuries are severe, but if he'll even play on Sunday, so that's a concern. We talked about Reece Nelson being able to be contribute, and he hasn't this year yet. So there's a question marks for players that play up front. And to me, as an Arsenal fan, yes, I want them to win all the rest of the games, but whenever you lack depth and you lack what's the word I'm looking for? You lack scoring goals. You lack playmaking ability from your bench. That's worrisome for me. So yeah, I mean the midfield we have depth, as do we have the center backs and forward and fullbacks, but there's no depth amongst the wingers and center forward. So that's a concern. So they gotta try to have some kind of to do something other than just walk around and try to attack the ball. You need to score goals, and the time is now. And if you don't see it, then that's a concern for me.
For sure. Mr. Tom, we'll just go clockwise. Since you are a closet Arsenal fan, you probably have some good answers for this one. Arsenal's got 12 games, 10 left in the league, potentially another 3 games in the Champions League if they're able to, have some good games. Do they have the depth for it?
From listening to you all talk over the course of a year, I don't think you have the depth, personally, and that's purely based on how you talk about your team's depth. Not you specifically, but just as a collective. It feels like it's always felt like you're on the cusp of something, but then you're like a key injury away from it all falling apart like a deck of cards. And the last couple of years, that's actually been the case, where unfortunately that has happened, as some would say. And you do tend to plug those gaps, but then obviously in football, just the nature of it, you plug those gaps and then more gaps open. But generally speaking, I don't think you do have you clearly don't have the depth of your closest rival in terms of the league table, because no one does. generally speaking. But
I hear you, Spencer. You got it.
It's all based on health. I mean, that's going to be the rotation, is all based on health. And I think that's why you've seen Tomiyasu and Partey kind of been eased back into things, right? They're not rushing Partey. I mean, I think the depth is there if we're healthy. So it's like the Jorginho discussion. If you got Jorginho, you still have Rice that can play the DM. You still got El Neni that can do a business for you over a couple stretch game, right? It's getting older, but I mean, we have some games where you could potentially rotate El Neni in, like a Brighton, a Luton at home, stuff like that. I know there's an argument about the 8 position. Havertz is probably your striker going forward. You can rotate him with Trossard, but you also have to worry about Martinelli's health, but you have Reece Nelson on the bench. So there's options there. The biggest question, though, I have, Gary, and I think the one that's the scariest one, is if Saliba or Gabriel go down, I think that cripples everything. I think you can deal with a potential injury in midfield, but Saliba and Gabriel, that partnership right there, you're probably gonna play all. Those guys are gonna play all 15 games. I guarantee it. Whether they should or not is another discussion, but I think what happens with this team matters with those guys, because right now the goal difference, right? They can maintain it and keep playing good defense. Get a couple goals in some of these big games. I mean, we'll find out definitely on Sunday. Sunday's going to be the ultimate litmus test. But the thing with the team's got to have to do, even if they get a good result at Man City, don't keep the pressure up. You're in the driver's seat again. You were in the driver's seat last year and screwed it up, but now you're back in that driver's seat with the goal difference this time. Win your 10 games. Champions League, go try to win that too. But it's going to be all based on health, Gary. That's my answer with that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's why I asked the question. It's and that's everybody's going to deal with that. I mean, we've seen City have to deal with that. I mean, is KDB 100%? He doesn't seem like he hasn't played he didn't play a full game last time he played and pulled out of the. I don't think he's playing for Belgium either. So, no, I definitely. I think if you're going to put it that way, our center backs are probably right now our Achilles heel in terms of, do we have answers for them? People will say we do, but then those answers are also risks if they continue to play, right? They need rest as well. What was that, Spencer?
So, Gary, the only thing I'll say with that, if the further along we go, left back, you're going to have Kivior, Tomiyasu. Right back, obviously Ben White, but you can rotate one of those two guys in there with Timber. But you can even throw Timber as a center back, because that's what he has done in the past. And Kivior. So there's answers there. You could play Rice as a center back, but yeah, there's options there, but there's nothing's going to match the quality of Gabriel and Saliba. Nothing will.
Yeah. No, I mean, putting any of those players in the fullback role outside of Kiwior, you're pushing their limits on how much availability you will have with them, right? Kiwior, that's why Kiwior playing left back is all right, but it's not a good thing, because he needs to play as a center back. We need to know if he's actually going to be an answer for us. I don't think we really know that, because I don't think he's had enough minutes there, right? We know we don't have an answer for Saka, right? So Saka and the two center backs right now are the big question marks, right? Can we finish off games early where we can pull them, right, and rotate, one of them out early, to finish off games and stuff like that. Saka, the same thing. Otherwise, I think we've got answers pretty much across the board. We don't have that left 8, so it doesn't matter who we put there. But otherwise, I think we have 3 key question marks in terms of what do we do if, So some people, hopefully, the Saka pulling out is just, it's just a precaution from Arsenal, and that's it. But we definitely have, So I think last season Partey basically was one of those things, and it's Saliba and Tomiyasu, right? 3 players. We still, Saka was also one of those, but he was able to last most of the season. But We just don't want Saka to burn out. All right. That's going to be the concern. Is maybe, like you said, players don't get injured, but they continue to play and their form is poor, and we struggle through games, right?
Yeah.
So that's the problem. That's why I ask for rotation all the time.
Jesus can be that wild card, though, Gary, if you think about it. If Havertz keeps being successful up top and you still have Trossard as an answer up there, you know, you could potentially put Jesus on the side with Saka. But you're never going to see Saka. I don't think you're going to see Saka get sat unless he's injured, Gary, the rest of the season. Yeah. And that's a little bit concerning that he, you know, but who knows? You know, like say, for example, you play Bayern April 9th, which I think is the first game of the first leg of the quarterfinals, and say you get lucky and smash them 5-1. Big if. You could rotate Saka in the second leg and have him come off the bench as a sub. You know what I mean? Like there's options there where the consequences are a little bit less likely that you could bring him on as a role player. But we're going to need all these guys to all hands on deck. Yeah. You know, if you want to be an elite football club and win elite trophies, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And hopefully Arteta makes the right decisions.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, we'll see. I just don't think we can ever go in. I don't feel like we've even done essentially like a low block to see out a game. You know, I don't know if we have the discipline for that. So, but we'll see about that. We shall see about that. It'll be tough, but it's definitely manageable. Lonzo, you got anything else you want to say on that note? No, you're muted.
I mean, you know, for me, it's like, you know, I wouldn't know if I would, you know, rotate Trossard or I wouldn't, you know, rotate with Havertz and Jesus. I would rotate, you know, Trossard in for Havertz because Havertz to me, he does more than what Gabriel Jesus does, and sometimes I forget Trossard's even still at Arsenal because he to me is just better as far as playmaking, as far as scoring goals on a consistent basis. Jesus just over dribbles and goes to ground and takes a nap any chance he gets. So you know, I believe more. I'm confident in what Trossard can do, and rather than having Jesus score, or at least be on the starting 11. That's just my opinion. But I think Trossard can do more. If Havertz goes back to number 8, that's just my opinion. I think, you know, with Jesus, it's a hard time watching him play sometimes because he does over dribble. He dribbles a lot in the box and doesn't do much, but he overshoots it. So I prefer Trossard over Jesus if they're gonna rotate.
Trossard over Jesus. I hear you. Like I said, I believe Jesus is going to have to be. You know, I think because of the depth and because of the games that we have, I think he'll play a part in how we do this the rest of this season. I can't see us, you know, just going away from him entirely and things just working out for us. I think, you know, if he doesn't have to play every game, and we can find those games that are good for him to be part of the squad, then we should bring him in because we need to be able to rotate our players. So, yeah, I think that's right. So I'll let Mr. Thomas start this one because Brownie has a comment here about Arsenal's star boy.
Can I read it out?
He says, "You what?
Can I read it out?
I'll read it out if you want me to. Or do you want to read it out?
I mean, because you won't read it out fully. So
I'll read it out fully.
Please do.
Brownie says Saka is inconsistent. Arsenal fans constantly. Oh, yes.
Do you want me to read it out, Gary?
Yeah, why not? Go ahead and read it out.
All right. Could have saved ourselves 15.8 seconds. But all right.
I was trying to be all big chested and then like Oh, no, I can't do that.
Okay. Saka is inconsistent. Arsenal fans constantly suck his pipe. But sorry, he's nowhere near as good as I think he is.
Interesting.
Do you agree with one brownie here?
I think there was a part of the season where he wasn't really doing much, and it led credence to his naysayers. But then he had the February.
It's January.
It was like the West Ham game, and there were a few where like he really did bring it. Let's just say. But generally, I'd say it was a team bring it as well. So I do think there's an element that he was like the star player in a team that wasn't doing very well when he first sort of was brought in, and now people are sort of matching him, arguably surpassing him, such as Odegaard. I don't watch your team enough to know what I'm talking about.
No. I mean, if I was gonna, I'll let Spencer maybe continue on from where you left off. But yes, Saka was our best player for a while, and then as the team has gotten better and more in tune to what Arteta wants, you can see players, get better.
I never said Havertz.
No, nobody said that. But Erdegaard definitely, and that's what we've been waiting for Erdegaard to be a little bit way more consistent, and he is. So Spencer, Saka, not that good, or?
I mean, I like Brownie, but I mean, god dang, what a hot take, dude. I mean, if you want to argue if he's not world class, okay, like everybody's definition of world class is different, but I mean. But most of the players that are world class are also surrounded by other world class players anyway. So, like, football is an 11-man game. You have to do things. It's a team effort. And, there was the Fulham game. Saka missed one from a 6-yarder, and he put it over the top of the net. Saka's developing into a world class player, but he is Arsenal's most important attacker. I mean, I would make an argument that he's probably the third or fourth important piece. I think Rice is a little bit more important. I think your Saliba and Gabriel are more important because you have to be able to defend. But I'm also more defense driven than I am attacking driven when it comes to my perception of football. But I just think it's a hot take, Brownie. Sorry, man. But, Saka's developing us. We have this conversation next year. I mean, he's 22 years old. You know what I mean? Like, we're sitting here debating whether a 22-year-old is world class. Okay, I mean, I guess. But no, he's very important to this team. And this stretch we've had since the holiday break, I guess we could call it, he's been probably one of the most important players and most reliable. So.
Yep. Lonzo, talk to me. Saka. Now Brownie's moved the goalpost because at first it was he's not that good. Now he's not world class, and this is the thing. People try to compare him against things they shouldn't. They compare him against Salah. They shouldn't. Now they say he's world class because there are people out there who say he's world class, but a lot of fans are I think a little bit more close to a little bit more grounded and think he's a really good young player who's definitely looking to get up there with the best. So talk to me about Saka, Lonzo.
Yeah, the funny thing about it is like the season isn't even over yet, and we still haven't seen the best of Saka either. Both for club and country. Like Spencer said, yeah, he's one of our most important attacking players, and he's gotten better ever since Odegaard and now Rice and now Havertz has been on the team. He's almost complete, I would say, but his assists have been up there also. So, he's slowly but surely becoming one of the most complete players in the Premier League. And, how many players can say that he could currently be on this current Arsenal team as well, Brownie? So, to me, you're seeing Saka evolved to this kind of player, and he's only 22. Like Spencer had said, there's some things that he is still learning how to do. He's still learning how to play defense, and he's still trying to track back, which is good. So you're seeing, a player getting better every year. So he's not even there yet. So it's exciting to see because he came from the youth system as well, and it kind of changes something like that. And he wants to stay at Arsenal too. So you're seeing one of these players that are like a generational player, seems like, who started off at the left wing back position, and now he's kind of right wing. So, it's something special, and we're lucky to have him. And that right side has been quite amazing to see the past 2 seasons, 3 seasons, but really this season has been coming along very nicely.
Yeah, no, I just decided I'll take a look at some of the stats because when the season was going along, I know this I know for me anyways, I was looking at Saka and I was like, man, he still doesn't he doesn't look right. It looks like you're not getting the best out of him. All right. Then he went on a little bit of a run there. I mean, he's sitting 5th in the league in goal contributions, right? And I don't think he's shown it as much as he could. All right. I think that's a testament to what he's been doing, is that even in what seems like a down year, he's sitting, like I said, 5th. He's only got Ollie Watkins, Salah, Haaland, and Son in front of him in terms of, players with better goal contributions to their team. And he's got Cole Palmer and Phil Foden right behind him, So, and that's him for me anyways, not playing at what could be his top performance. We got another person joining us here. Everybody, hold your horses. Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom.
Oh,
I got a question.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Lord Greenwood.
Tony the Tiger.
Tony's joined us, folks. How you doing, Mr. Tony Turner?
60 minutes late.
I don't think you want to ask that question, Gary.
Oh boy! All right, it's been one of those days, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, for those who know,
Well,
Tony's
one
always
of those days, 3 or 4 things happen.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at Tony's misfortune. I'm laughing at Tony saying, you don't want to know, then Gary taking it as, I'm going to move on, and then Tony immediately then interrupting, which is obviously on brand for Tony, but then interrupting by then going into his fucking life story about his day.
I did not do that, Tom.
Yeah,
no. You were going to. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Nope.
We know I love you, Tony, but it's what you do.
Some things are better left unsaid, Tom.
Yeah. Nah, as I said, I don't know. I just feel like some people are asking too much of Saka. He does not have to be world class.
Who's Saka, Gary?
Oh my gosh.
Leave
me alone. It's my show. I can say whatever I want. You know what I mean.
Hang on, let's check who Transmere are playing at the weekend.
Oh no! See, this is what you guys. I mumble my words, and now yes. No, like I said, I think we're just talking Tony here, and maybe you'll have some comments here. Basically, Brownie said Saka is not all that, and everybody, toots his horn, as he said, as Brownie said, but in a little bit of a more flowerful set of words that he used there. But everybody bigs him up. He's not that good. What do you think about Saka? You think he's actually a good player, or he's just like not?
I think he's a great player. He's still growing. You have to remember he started off in the defense, moved into the midfield, and finally in there as a winger. Surprised me one day if we don't see him as a striker. Because I got asked that question about 3 years ago. It's like, where are we going to see him at when he hits his peak? You have to remember he's 22 years old, about 4 or 5 years away from when he'll really be kicking off. So,
yeah, no, for sure.
Hey,
Sure.
Gary, I got a question, and I was curious if Tony would like to express how wonderful Tyler Adams was last night in that U.S.-Mexico victory. Leeds legend, Tyler Adams, that is.
I did not watch it.
That's right, Mr. Tony.
He doesn't
Oh,
wa- he
he
doesn't-
he only
watches
likes
real
international sports when it's wrestling. But otherwise, he hates international.
He likes wrestling when it's in Saudi Arabia.
I just wanted to watch the
I was
match,
expecting,
Tom.
but
You're the one that
One
didn't work it.
match until the next one comes, but that's all right. Yeah.
I didn't not watch an entire international football tournament because of my morals, because I have none, clearly.
Yeah.
And I won't watch Messi's documentary on Apple TV Plus because guess what? It's about the fucking World Cup. I don't care. So
Hey,
being
Tony.
a winner, so I've been done with slave
But you
labor.
will advertise it
Tony,
on Apple TV Plus.
now that he said that you're not gonna watch Messi's documentary, I'm probably gonna watch it now.
What a surprise!
Yeah. Alonso is.
Tony, I have a question, Tony.
Yeah.
What year did Saka play midfielder at? Tony?
He played midfield right in the early part of his career with Arsenal when he was playing all around the pitch. I mean, most of it was on that back line, I believe, but he did play sometimes on
it was 18 or 19
in like an 8 role at some point. Not a lot, I believe.
I think when he was wearing the 77 shirt too, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
He's played pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Unai Emery basically played him anywhere he could. Yeah. Gave him minutes. So I think, but you know, I like the idea that he could play anywhere because I like the idea, especially when we needed a left back at one point. But that's another story. That's another story.
Saka would fit right into the Netherlands when they used to every footballer played every position. Which why do you do that? Because you know some of them are just going to be terrible at.
Because most of these footballers have the talent to play 3 or 4 positions. You know what I mean? So it's like they have to find out.
Can I play goalkeeper and striker?
Well, goalkeeper is a little bit different, Tony, than striker. I mean, you can do
but they still play all 11 positions.
I mean, they probably figure
they
out.
They don't do it now, I don't think. But
but I mean, they probably figure out by the age of 9 or 10 where they're going to put these guys. You know, especially if they're in the Arsenal Academy, or probably even by when they hit the U16s. Once they start hitting their growth spurts, if someone's like 6'5" and very athletic, they'll probably say, "Hey, this guy could play goalkeeper." But I mean, think about Saka playing at left back position now. If you had him doing the inversion, you had like a Jesus up at the 9. And he's sitting there playing in the middle of the pitch. It would drive the teams nuts.
You want to put Jashard there, not Jesus.
Whoever, Jashard, Jesus, whoever you want. But having that quality doing the inversion that Zinchenko does, I know BX has brought that up in the past, but I think it would be something to see.
Yes. And yeah, Brownie, you're right about that. USA got lucky against Jamaica. They should have never even made it past Jamaica. Jamaica, though, missing some of their best attackers, paid for it. So many missed chances they had in that game. Could have easily been 3-0 before US got a chance. But guess what? This is what happens. We see it all the time. You look at any run by a big team. Manchester City, for example, teams will play them and miss all their chances. City will get one and score, and game over. So it happens all the time. You've seen it,
and sometimes
like
just down to luck. Like when we finished on 75 points, or I guess it wasn't when we finished on 75, but we finished right below Spurs by 1 point. Then they make it to the fucking final of the Champions League, and they were probably a worse team than we were.
Well, playing style wise, but they had more
Is Tony
talent.
playing hide and seek behind his hand? Sorry,
Yeah.
Gary.
I don't know what he's
Fair
doing. He's
question.
trying to eat and talk at the same time.
I mean, sometimes tortoise beats the hare, Sometimes the hare beats the tortoise.
Yes.
It's because Tony's glasses keep on falling off his nose.
Sorry. I thought we were doing like this for the rest of the show. Sorry, everyone. Just sorry. I'm going to do my Chris segment like this.
He's just been waiting for you, Tony, to show up so he could just
Tom, I can put your hand to your face while you look at your try to find your Chris in the couch.
Sorry, Alonso, I didn't understand you because you were asking the question like a normal human.
Tom, when two of your fingers are like this, you have to cup your hand so you don't drop shit. That's what I was doing. I have to eat like a damn ape.
Shit.
Is Tony, what is it? Is Tony in a gurney?
Gurning competition. Fucking hell. We're all going in on Tony tonight.
Yeah, what is up with that? What did Tony do to you guys?
Everybody usually loves me. What's wrong?
I just asked him a question about the Leeds legend Tyler Adams. I didn't joke, Tony.
Tony still thinks he's playing three at the back, so.
True. Oh, man.
Alonso, I've got a genuine question for you. Do you think Tony shot JFK?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody that was in a CIA.
Tony time traveled in the DeLorean and Michael J. Fox. So there you go. He went into the DeLorean like Michael J. Fox, set the time for that particular time in history, and shot JFK. That's what he did.
It was 3 CIA.
Right, Tony? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, what a question!
Yeah, see, this is what you're gonna get when you go down this road.
It was on the Discovery or History Channel way back.
The History Channel, Tony.
It's on one of them.
Yep.
But that's because in the movie.
JFK, right? With Kevin Costner,
right? But they're in Virginia.
Please go through the comments, please, sir. Please.
I want Spencer to hear this. Spencer's in Virginia. They sat there in Virginia.
Brownie, I'm skipping that one.
Here we go.
They built a mock.
I'm skipping that one. I'm skipping that one.
They built a whole mock of Delhi Plaza. A whole mock-up of it. Like a whole wooden mock-up.
They shot JFK in Dallas.
Yeah, but he's talking about the FBI did a mock-up.
Oh, okay. In Langley.
Can you please put?
You do know who was in the FBI?
I can't put that one up.
And was getting oil from Cuba. You know who that was?
Because you know what? If I put that one up, Tony will never get any. Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to say it out loud.
I can't stop laughing at that.
I have to move on. Brownie, you're a dirty old man. That's all I'm going to say. Tony made the bullet turn the wrong way. Fact.
Doesn't Tom have control?
Tony's like, I got a question. The bullet's like, hell no, get out of here.
Ride it, but I'm not going to.
Oh, man. Yeah.
No, I am the X.
Yeah. Brownie.
I think we should hold a vote in the comments.
No votes. No votes. All right. You know what?
Oh, my God.
Mr. Tom, you're going to have to read it, but there you go.
I'll happily read it. Oh, hell, I'll even read it as Michael Jackson.
All right.
Yeah.
Where are you going? You got to go somewhere?
Everybody.
Do you have to go somewhere?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was mistaken. I'm clearly not Michael Jackson, but I do have to go to the little boy's room.
Right.
Please don't do Mr. Hanky today.
All right.
I don't want to have anything to do with Mr. Pooh.
Got this quote here from Brownie. Disgusting.
Shimon, motherfucker. Tony, you eat the pussy like you eat food. Food.
I don't know who fucking Tom's supposed to be there, but
Shimon, motherfucker. Where's Bubbles?
This is terrible, man. This is terrible. Ay.
this better take a left turn.
Yeah, See, you came on and start. I don't know what you're eating, but Cheetos.
Hey, everybody.
Cheez-Its.
Did I miss anything?
No, you didn't miss anything. Everything was cool, calm,
Extra
collected here.
tasty cheddar jack.
Hey Gary, I appreciate you giving Michael Jackson time to talk tonight.
You know what? You should don't stop right there. Stop right there.
Come on, motherfucker.
See? All right.
Do you know that's the worst impersonation you do, Tom?
Sounds like I'm gonna have to put a limit on how long.
What's the best one?
Simone.
I think Tom should be banned from eating crisp on the show for the next 4 weeks.
How about you, Tony?
What are you eating? Why are you eating on the show? This is supposed to be a professional show. We're talking football and stuff here. He don't care. He does not care. Are we talking about any more football? It is Interlull.
I was trying to be like Alonzo and just eat all the time.
Oh, great. Not even here about
Wow.
Tony. Jeez.
Oh, no. I mean, even like Sam is going after you and going hard this time. What?
That's what she said.
Yeah, you know what? It's a lot of things that changed Mr. Tom's character. Definitely the soda. But I do have something before we get out of here. I mean, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City all play. They have some similar opponents through these last 10 matches. I think one is Villa. Another one, I believe, is Brighton. I think they all play that team. There are a couple games against the two teams. Yeah, so those are basically those are the 4 games, I think, where there's common opponents. Anybody think there'll be a slip up in any one of those games? So you got Brighton, Villa, that team, and I think Wolves as well.
I'll give you a prediction, Gary.
Then we play United.
Tony.
Alonzo, go ahead.
Yeah, so in the past, it's always Brighton that give it the hardest time at their place. It's always either they win and they dominate offensively, or it's a shootout. And usually the case, it's always the shootout. They got a very good coach, and I know they're hurting right now with injuries, but for some reason they always play well against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And
what about all 3 teams though? I wonder.
Right.
Yeah, because all 3 teams play them. So which do you think Brighton will give every team a problem?
I think talented. They're they're talented enough to beat one, draw one, and lose to one. Now, I think Arsenal. This is a team that has learned from their mistakes in the past, so it depends on how our defensive line up. However, I think we could overcome them. However, I know Brighton have given Liverpool and City both fits in the past. Now, if you ask me, Gary, which team would lose to them at their place, would be City.
Okay.
And they would draw against Liverpool, and we beat them. That's my best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean that works out perfectly because if they draw against Liverpool, that means no matter what happens, Liverpool won't jump us after this weekend's games, and we could pull away from them if we do anything positive. I know Spencer, you had some thoughts on common opponents and which ones might give all the teams some problems.
My prediction is that one of us Arsenal, City, or Liverpool are going to win all 10 remaining games.
Oof.
Somebody's going to do it.
And it's probably Liverpool, right? Because they're not playing either one of you.
Well, that's the problem.
Well, the problem with Liverpool,
that could be a plus or a minus, right? Because you always think about, all right, well, the team that's not playing anyone, guess what? That's when you have your banana peel. That's when your banana peels, like your banana skins, right? You slip on that banana peel, right?
So how many teams have won the Europa League and won the Premier League at the same time? Because they say the Sunday, Thursday is the toughest to do. And Liverpool is in that competition.
I'd argue it's not many based on the sheer fact that most teams that win the Premier League tend to also be in the Champions League.
Yeah. My unfortunate prediction would be that Man City would probably be the one that would win out.
Yeah. The ex-gunner says no.
They have the easiest running left.
I thought Liverpool does.
Liverpool still got to go play United. City still got to play that team. I had to memorize it one time.
Everybody has to play that team.
But you got to think, there's 10 games left. That's 30 points. That means we're on 64. Liverpool's on 64. City on 63. That means someone would win it at 93 or 94 points, which is it's feasible. Someone could do that, especially if someone gets knocked out in Europe quickly, and this is the only competition they're worried about.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Tony, who do you think? Brighton, Villa, that team, and one more, Wolves.
I don't think Wolves will, but I think it's going to be Villa and Spurs are going to trip up some team.
Mr. Tom, what say you?
I think it's hard to go against the champions because of the resources long term. And unfortunately, resources are a big part of football success in the long term. So,
you don't
despite
think
the fact that it's a sport.
And you don't think, what about as far as a common opponent tripping up more teams than not?
You all play Wolves, don't you?
Yep.
Later in the season.
Yep.
And they've proven themselves a fairly capable team this season.
Yep.
So those games someone will probably drop out of the race because of the match against them.
Yeah. Only Arsenal plays Wolves away. Third to last game, City plays Wolves at home in the last match. Wolves plays at Anfield. So,
And you've also got to keep in mind you're disadvantaged because Mark's going to talk to Wolves and go play harder against them because of Lolo. So.
That is true. They're not friends when it comes to football. Now, like I said, it will be there's a lot of look like winnable games until you get to the fact that it is the end of the season. And some of the, what's interesting is not too many of those teams outside of Luton are concerned too much about, I guess, Bournemouth and Luton, concerned about relegation, right? I think that's it, really.
Football.
Yeah, so it seemed like some teams would be concerned, but it looks like most of them won't be. So, some teams might be fine to just see how it goes and not be too concerned.
I love the international break.
You do not. Yes, Sam is singing that song.
Yes. Look at Everton. They got the point deduction, and they're still not in the relegation battle.
Yes, well, because it wasn't really much of a punishment if it's supposed to really punish them, right?
You're supposed to
still over a third of the season to go. It's actually a quarter of the season to go, or just over a quarter of the season. Not a third yet. So it's got 10 games left out of 38. So close to it's actually it's actually under a quarter of the games, right? Or is that over? I don't know, something like that. Definitely less than a third. There's only April, and it's only 10 games left. So whatever it is, it's getting close. We are sitting here about 80 minutes. Anybody want to talk about anything before we head out of here?
Yeah, this is a massive weekend in the championship.
Tell
the
me.
Easter weekend fixture list in the championship is the one that historically fucks our season. But generally, because we play on the Friday and then the Monday. And
oh, wow.
It's difficult, yeah.
Everybody plays
exactly.
these short week.
Yeah. Everyone plays the same day, to be fair. But
oh, okay. So who are you playing?
We go to Watford, and then we've got Hull at home on the Monday.
Wow. So
Needle six.
Yep. You found different ways to win, so you might have a good game and a not so good game, but if the 6 points come, then you'll be all right.
No one cares about Ipswich.
Nope.
Yeah. And
will we see one of the two players we don't want to see this weekend? Will we see Jesus or Zinchenko?
I hope not.
Well,
I tell you, I feel like we're gonna need. We'll need some of their skills at some point in the season, whether it's Sunday or not. We'll see. But I feel like we're gonna need. It's gonna have to be. This is not 11, 12, 13 player approach to see this season out.
15.
We're gonna need a lot more players than that. So you're gonna have to, even if you don't like them, they're gonna have to be. There might be crucial parts to this. Come out of nowhere, just like Tommy Yasu came out of nowhere and shut down Salah. That type of thing might have to happen.
Yeah.
Where's he been since then, Gary?
He's actually played well since then. He got injured right before he went away for Asia Cup, right? I mean, he had some good games this season. We were cheering about it, right?
Why does the Asia Cup not happen the same time as the other?
Because it's hot in Asia in the summer.
It's not that hot. Come on.
Dude, Tony, the Asia Cup's going to continue like Saudi Arabia. Do you know what it gets in the summer in Saudi? Like 140.
I don't care.
Yeah.
They play in hot places here in the U.S. Spencer.
I know.
You don't want to go to a country during the hottest.
They're not 140 degrees worth.
Do you? But anyway, anybody else have anything before we get out, Mr. Tom? You got a bag of stuff there you want to share with us?
I actually do. Yeah.
I'm not going to be here Saturday, so I just want to go ahead and say, this is a must-win on Saturday. I mean, Sunday, 100% must-win. But I'll see you guys in the comments. I'm going to somewhere this weekend, but must-win. Let's go.
I hear you. So, Mr. Tom, you got something you want to say?
Yeah, but I want to know what Tony's got to say about it. He said my segment should be banned.
Well, you know what? I'll give Tony a couple of seconds to figure it out. The faces of Mr. Tom. This is great.
Did you go see Ezekiel? Did you say Ezekiel? What?
What?
Crisp do you have for me? He sees Ezekiel at his Crisp Emporium.
Iqbal. Who the fuck is Ezekiel?
When he said it, I thought he was talking about the running back for the Cowboys a couple of years ago. But all right, no. All right, Mr. Tom, tell us about these chips.
Tony the something. Yeah. Have I asked Tony segment in the show? That should totally be a thing. Anyway. Sorry, Gary, what was you going to say?
Go on, talk to me.
All right. So I've gone with and I really don't think I've had these, but Tony's got them stored into his like fuck with Tom, what would you call it, file facts or whatever. So I've gone with these wavy lays with the herbs and the cream.
The herbs, algae, and herbs. All right.
Wavy lays.
That's not the right kind of herbs for me, Tom. You've had wavy lays, but you haven't had.
What year is that? All
Very
right.
easy on the palate. Easy on the palate. In fact, let me just have one more just to make sure I'm sure of my opinion. In fact, let me just have another one.
So when Lays owns Walkers in the UK, how do you end up with so many Walkers or Lays from all these weird countries? Sounds like United Nations with this crisp.
Give us a rating, Mr. Tom.
Tony eats food for fuel. I eat food to enjoy. Which probably then doubles back to what Brownie said earlier about something Tony eats with his hand in front of his face.
Muff munching?
Let's get that score.
I was waiting for someone to bring it full circle.
Muff munching.
912 out of 1,114.496.
Cool. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your support on the show. Yes, exactly right, Brownie. But he is it, pal. Anyway, sorry. Thank you to everyone for supporting the show and Gary in his various YouTube endeavours. Thank you for Tony for existing, I suppose. Thank you to Alonso for turning up and getting a bit salty with me earlier. A little bit salty, a little bit spicy. It was all right. It was fine. I consider
Was he ready?
Sharp, Tony. Sharp, it's my
time.
Was he
ready, salted?
Sharp.
Was he ready?
Zip it.
Ready, salted?
Zip it. Zip. Zip.
Zip it.
All right. Say bye-bye.
But yeah, so I considered it a successful trolling session personally. But anyway, but in all seriousness, thank you everyone. Take care. Have a good week.
Yeah. Yes.
If you're feeling depressed or sad or something, go to see someone about it. Not me. I'm not a qualified professional, but there are people that are.
Yeah. No, Brownie, you've got a point there. If I used to listen to R's blog, and he said he was going to Spain and he's going to bring back or what. It's either him or Gunner Blog was going to Spain, but they were bringing back Hamon Raffles. Oh, they're really good. When I was actually in Spain, I picked some up. But yes, Spain's crisps are really nice. Tony, say bye.
I just showed up. It's time for me to say bye already.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. I had no idea when I walked to my bedroom at 6:05 to get ready for the show that I'd show up like an hour, 20 minutes later. But life happens.
Well, good to see you on the show. We don't need to go into Tony's health. That's another show. That'll take a whole show. But Tony's here. He's smiling. He's eating.
We'll see if me and Brownie meet for a muff munchin luncheon.
All right. See, there you go. All right. Move on. Tony, say bye. Tony.
Bye.
There you go. Alonzo.
Hey guys, thanks for having me, Gary. Good to see you, Spencer, Tom, and Tony the Tiger. Yeah, I mean it's good talking with you guys. Yeah, so join my podcast, the Arsenal Church Galaxy podcast. I didn't have one this weekend. Maybe I do one Sunday. Depends on how I feel. But yeah, looking forward to the game on Sunday. Hopefully Arsenal will win. And have a good week. Have a good week, everyone, and take care. Have a good day.
Yes. And Spencer.
Well, thank you everybody for coming by and hanging out tonight. Thanks to everybody that came by last night for the U.S.-Mexico watch along. Gary, Alonzo, Tony, Tom, that came and hung out. But yeah, I won't be here on the trip Saturday. I'll be headed to Richmond to watch the Busch race.
Yeah.
So I will catch you guys in the chat on the way up there. Say hello to everybody, and maybe we can discuss the flag on the. Never mind. Other than that, I have a good week. I think tomorrow I'm going to be on the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I think they have a 4:30 show, 8:30 UK. I'm not sure if it's Liam's show or Ryan's, so I'll be on that tomorrow. But yeah, everybody take care. That's all I got to say.
Cool. All right,
who did
everybody.
his special guest end up being? Sorry, he promoted a special guest on Sunday.
For what? For tomorrow's show?
Yeah, before you came on Sunday, he went later on. We're having a special guest. So I went on there a bit later on, and you were sat there. And I thought,
no, it was Liam.
Oh,
it was Liam.
Oh, it was Liam.
Liam was supposed to be. He was at the hospital with with the baby and all that. So that would have been it was a good thing to see him. So yeah, cool. Yeah. Ham on Ruffles. Those are the best, man. Ham on Ruffles. If you ever get a chance to have some, check it out. I like them. But anyways, everybody, thank you again for joining us. I know we enjoyed this. I know you guys enjoyed this as well. We'll be back next week, chatting it up. Hopefully, Arsenal talking about sitting. Hopefully, at least 3 or 4 points ahead of. I guess 3 points ahead of City. That would be really nice. We'll see what Liverpool does. But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back on Saturday. Check us out on the. What?
That would be 4 points ahead of City.
4 points. What did I say?
You said 3.
Oh, 4 points. 4 points ahead of City. Hopefully 3 points ahead of Liverpool would be nice as well. Why not? I go for the full thing. So, but we'll be back on. You'll check us out on the road trip on Saturday morning, and otherwise we'll see you on Monday. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you guys on the next one. All right. Thank you. And good night.
Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip. Go on the ride. There you go.